Keep in mind that Carl Williams looked
They had practically no chance.
I've never seen. And there's a right hit. Got a little loosey-goosey.
But they pulled off a true miracle.
What an uppercut by Douglas.
Here are the stories of fighters whose careers had already been written off, yet who went on to defeat the ones the whole world feared.
Sustained attack against him.
This is Boxing Land. Here we go. February 11th, 1990, a date that forever divided boxing history into before and after. Undisputed champion Mike Tyson was stepping into the ring for another title defense. He was pitted against a fighter who had made it to the title bout only by a miracle. By that point, he had already suffered numerous losses, and defeating the undefeated Mike seemed impossible.
That time by holding Holyfield. Right hand stuns Douglas!
Even those slim chances were cut by 10 when, right before the fight, the poor guy's mother passed away and his wife was hospitalized.
Buster's mother, Lula, died suddenly at age 46.
He was left completely alone in this hellish world and even considered ending his career. But before that, he had to fulfill the promise he'd made to his mom to defeat Mike Tyson. After 2 knockdowns from life, he stepped into the ring for a fight where all the bookmakers had him at 40-1 odds, and the spectators were already wondering how quickly Tyson would turn off his lights.
Fighter who likes to work behind a stiff left jab.
As soon as the bell rang, Mike charged forward with his signature peekaboo without a shred of mercy, immediately making it clear that his opponent wouldn't walk out of the ring on his own 2.
Keep in mind that Carl another right-hand lead lands for Douglas.
Then Tyson unleashed a devastating punch, and it seemed that the story had just come to an end.
Here he's against the ropes. I've never seen.
And there's a right-hand uppercut, and down goes Douglas. As suddenly as that.
Meanwhile, the arena was already in an uproar, celebrating Tyson's latest knockout. Just as the referee's count reached the final second, Douglas got back to his feet, accomplishing the seemingly impossible mission.
Loosey-goosey. Still clearly he was out on his feet as the bell sounded.
It was at that very moment that he stopped adapting to his opponent's pace and began to dictate the terms of the fight.
Right to the body, he tries the uppercut again and misses. Douglas comes back with a left and a right. Tyson needs the ropes for support. Douglas wailing away. Without the ropes, Mike would have gone down.
By the middle of the 10th round, he unleashed a combination that even Rocky Balboa himself would have envied.
The shot that will finish things in. Oh, the uppercut. What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.
Mike Tyson's body collapsed onto the canvas, with no sign whatsoever that he would get back up.
It's over. It's over.
Mike Tyson has been knocked out.
Meanwhile, Buster Douglas went down in history as the first man to knock out the king of boxing. He proved that even when faced with an impossible task, the most important thing is to never stop believing in yourself.
James Buster Douglas.
In 2008, Ricardo Mayorga and Shane Mosley treated the boxing world to the most chaotic fight in history. Mayorga had a reputation as boxing's biggest scumbag, for whom stirring up trouble in the ring was easier than making his morning coffee. And at the press conference for his fight with Shane Mosley, he viciously disgraced the love of his life. Everyone wanted to see Mosley smash that vile scoundrel to the canvas, defending his wife's honor. As soon as the bell rang, Mayorga, like a demon escaped from the underworld, made his opponent's life a living hell.
From that point on, it was pretty easy for us. There's a chopping right hand for Mayorga.
And round after round, it looked as though that lowlife's actions would go unpunished. However, in the very last seconds of the fight, Mosley heroically turned the fight on its head, subjecting the rascal to a public execution.
He did against Oscar De La Hoya 8 years ago. Scintillating, fighting down the stretch of the fight by Shane Mosley. A brilliant progress, and he puts Mayorga on the canvas.
In the the early 2000s, Roy Jones was considered the best boxer in the world, regardless of weight class. He was admired for his flamboyance and the spectacular fights he delivered to all fans of the sweet science.
Straight left hand was spectacular.
In 2003, Roy successfully defended one of his titles against Antonio Tarver. However, the victory left a bitter taste, as one of the judges and many fans believed that Tarver absolutely deserved the win. To put a definitive end to this saga, the two fighters were given an immediate rematch just a few months later.
Emmanuel, you seen that before?
I love it.
From the very first seconds of the fight, Roy had his opponent in a steel vice grip and toyed with him as if he were a pathetic little boy.
Because at this weight, there's never been hand speed. And there were boos in the house during the first fight from time. So much of the first round was a phony war.
And in the second round, the audience was eager for more of this masterful spectacle.
Jones nearly craned his head all the way out between the ropes.
But just a minute later, Tarver landed a picture-perfect counter that nearly took the crowd favorite's head clean off.
Sustained attack against him.
And down goes Jones on the hard left hand. And that is the most that Roy Jones has ever been hurt. Only Lou DeVal ever knocked him down. Jones may not get up. And he makes it up. It's over. 1080 stops the fight.
That was the first time Roy lost by knockout, and it was from that fight onward that his reputation slowly began to decline. Boxing remains the primary source of amazing bouts, and one of them is the match between Huni and Fabio Wardley. Two undefeated knockout artists meet in the ring, and the audience expects a bloody meat grinder. The bell rang, and Huni began racking up points thanks to his speed.
An early storm for Fabio.
Justice struck with the precision of a Swiss watch, aiming to calmly win the fight by decision. But in the 10th round, Wardley's punch came like a bolt from the blue, knocking the lights out of his opponent's eyes. The next story, it seems even James Cameron wouldn't be able to write a script for it. In 2001, Lennox Lewis was the undisputed king of boxing, holding the WBC and IBF titles. His death note already included such big names as Evander Holyfield,
Lennox Lewis.
Andrew Galota,
Top by Lewis. Good right and left hand by Lewis. Galota deep. Galota down.
and Tommy Morrison.
Very close to a stoppage here. You get that sense.
When there were no more big names left to face, the promoters set him up with Hasim Rahman, the only contender who, at that point, had not yet fallen to Lewis. At that time, Lewis was basking in the glow of global fame. Red carpets, movies, and endorsement deals had completely pushed sports out of his life, turning training into a rare and half-hearted routine. While Lewis was wallowing in luxury, Rahman literally took up residence in the gym. He prepared for this fight not as a sporting event, but as the most important battle of his life, where his very destiny was at stake.
To the referee and asked him to go to Rahman's camp.
The bout began, and Lennox, drawing on his wealth of experience, coolly set about dismantling his opponent.
So that he's hiding his right hand from him. One of the criticisms of Rahman.
Sooner had the first 3-minute round ended than Lennox began to visibly gasp for breath. It seemed Lennox had grown so accustomed to the high of being on set that his lungs, too, had apparently taken a vacation.
To the head.
At that moment, Rahman felt a surge of confidence, and with a single press of the trigger, he reduced all the champion's grandeur to dust.
Jab. 4 of them. Chases Lewis across the ring.
Lennox Lewis received a punishment commensurate with his attitude toward the fight, and his helpless appearance will forever go down in boxing history.
A new heavyweight champion.
In 2001, prison fighter Bernard Hopkins faced off against Felix Trinidad. It was as if life were conducting a cruel experiment on Hopkins, regularly throwing challenges his way that would have broken others long ago. Hopkins took up boxing while serving time in prison, where he ended up when he was still just a brat. His entire career was a veritable obstacle course. He finally reached the home stretch at the age of 37.
He also has fought on ESPN several times. And quickly,
and Bernard Hopkins lands and knocks down Joe Leslie.
Meanwhile, Felix himself entered this bout as an absolute dominant force with a flawless 40-0 record and a string of defended titles under his belt.
that one stunned him, and down goes down goes Water.
Of course, compared to him, the former convict looked like the underdog.
Sometimes it means real fireworks.
From the very first bell, Bernard defied all predictions and immediately made life a living hell for Trinidad.
Knowing that he's intent. Hard right hand by Hopkins. Biggest blow of the fight. Trinidad momentarily.
Trinidad charged headlong, but Hopkins deftly dodged the blows and literally capitalized on every mistake his opponent made. By the midpoint of the fight, the formidable Trinidad had completely run out of energy.
Judges, one from the United States, one.
The champion dictated the pace of the fight from start to finish, and right at the very end, he delivered a perfect, elegant execution.
And now Trinidad shuffles his own feet. Oh, huge right hand. Huge right hand by Hopkins. Down goes Trinidad. I'm not sure Tito can get up.
This triumph not only earned Bernard the status of undisputed champion, but also forced the entire world to acknowledge that age doesn't matter for a true legend.
Bernard Hopkins.
Boxing isn't the only sport that boasts sensations. The famous K1 also has an upset that has gone down in history. Ernesto Hoost is a true gem of kickboxing, with victories over all the stars of his generation to his credit. His record was truly terrifying: 99 wins, 62 of which ended in devastating knockouts. In the opposite corner stood a 2-meter-tall mountain of muscle. Former NFL player Bob Sapp had minimal K1 experience under his belt, but he looked less like a professional fighter and more like a steroid experiment that had escaped from a lab. Before the fight, the audience had no doubt that for a master like Ernesto, this clumsy giant would be nothing more than a quick warm-up. As soon as the bell rang, Ernesto unleashed a brutal beating on Sapp. Next, Justo unleashed his trademark weapon, a series of low kicks that had brought down the world's best fighters. But Sapp had no intention of becoming a whiny punching bag and soon changed tactics, relying entirely on his incredible muscles. Driving his prey into a corner, Sapp unleashed a barrage of close-range strikes, turning a technical bout into a brutal beating. By reducing the world's top kickboxer's face to a pulp, this giant sent shockwaves through the entire kickboxing world. In this video, we showed you the biggest upsets in boxing history.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson.
Leave a comment with fights that could have made it into our list. Like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Across the ring.